If you are asking yourself right now, how did this happen?
The future is in our hands.
I'm going to show you exactly how it happened. I'm going to show you the 5 steps that were used that are straight out of a government PSYOPs handbook. But this time it's not the military that's doing it. Let's get started. Here are the 5 steps in order. Step number 1, you have to pacify your demographic. Before you can pacify them, you have to create a disturbance that needs to be pacified. So just like with a cult and just like with any type of a government takeover, you need to have an us versus them, which means you need a leader that people can rally behind, and that leader has to articulate that there is an evil force that needs to be pushed back against. Then this leader has to promise things, even if they can't follow through on them, that the demographic wants to hear. That leader can encourage the people that they are downtrodden, that they're being systematically oppressed, that the government owes them much more than they're getting. And this is where pacification comes in. This starts with town hall meetings. It's where you listen and you validate anyone's experiences. You invite people from the community to share their individual stories. Then you validate all those feelings of anger or anxiety or stress or oppression. And during these meetings, you have to stay completely away from being defensive at all. Then the leader will begin to share how their movement will pacify all those needs that were just talked about. And during this process is when the marketing campaign starts. This is where the leader and the conglomerates that are behind that person will buy airtime for commercials. They will use social media. They will use traditional media, billboards, radio ads, whatever it takes to start the marketing campaign, that this person is going to give you a whole bunch of things that you can't believe you're about to get, even though there's no way to pay for them. And at the same time, they're going to fight back against this horrible fascist dictator that they can't stand. This will start the groundswell of people that love the idea of tripling the minimum wage, of making all the buses run faster and show up more often, of rent never going up, and of many things being provided for free that you now pay for. After pacification comes the distraction process. This is where the ads and all the media that are being used start to develop a sense of urgency. This is where they begin to appeal to the emotions that have been brought out at those town halls, all the while using what's called social proof. And you get people that have esteem in the community to come to these new events and then speak on your behalf. And those people that they already look up to are talking about you in a good light and how you're going to fix everything as this leader. And that provides the social proof that if this person is saying it, it must be true. After all, someone who's famous that that particular community likes is talking about their personal needs and how this leader is going to solve those problems. And this captures attention even further. And after distraction comes the sedation process. In a situation like this, you would encourage the different boroughs or different neighborhoods to come together because they have shared needs that are all across the board. Then the leader will begin to engage their values. They will align all of the things they're talking about with personal interest that they've collected so far in this campaign. And they want to take away all of your rights, and they want to take away all of your freedoms, and they want to lord their control over you like a good fascist dictator. And we must fight against this, and let's rally together because we all have the same vision for free stuff. And this begins to sedate people because now they believe that if they just get this person in office, all their problems will be solved, money will be free, food will be very cheap, rent will never go up, buses are going to run fast, services are going to come flooding in, phones will be free, internet will be free, and it's all because you just deserve it. And this will conveniently sedate the very people that have just been pacified and distracted. Now comes the flooding process. This is where you drown out real signals with overwhelming noise from your side. This is where you pay people to create memes and then post them online. You engage all the propaganda you can possibly engage, sometimes called fake news. This is where selective riots in certain places and protests in many more places are pushed to be much larger than they actually are. And the legacy media, they are more than happy to oblige. message. Think about the No Kings protests that were going on recently. They made it seem like the whole world was out there, but I went and looked. A lot of them looked like they had been escaped from nursing homes and they'd been paid to be there. And other than those people, it was primarily very young, white, wealthy young women. And the crowds were nowhere as big as they were painting them to be. But you flood with this in every aspect that you can find. This is now what goes out over all social media posts. This goes out over all the network news. This goes out over radio stations. This goes out over print media. And you flood until this becomes the norm. And then the last step is that you show false consensus. This is where you not only bring in your social proof with celebrities and people that are well known in those neighborhoods that speak on your behalf. And now, through the media outlets, statistics are being released, data is being released, charts show up on specific news channels that show that this person, all their ideas are pushing through the roof with approval. And after all, if everyone seems to agree, then you need to get on board because after all, this is your community, right? Let me give you an example of how this was used a long time ago. If you think about the Gulf War back in 1991, Operation Desert Storm, everybody remembers that. Well, let's move forward in time just a little bit to 2003, to Iraqi Freedom. That was another operation done by the military. It was an overwhelmingly huge victory for the coalition forces led by America. And there was a guy on the radio waves in Baghdad. His name was Mohammed Saif el-Sahaf, and everyone called him Baghdad Bob. And this was comical because he would get on the airwaves and say things like, the Americans and all the allies that are together are turning back at the gates. They're giving up. They're dropping their weapons and running away. None of which was true. And you can still find this online where he would say things like, they're nowhere near the city. They're gone. They've turned around. They've fled, as the coalition forces were actually entering the city. He was trying to build false consensus. And what that does is that encourages the base of the people that you're trying to communicate with, the base of the people that you're trying to engage to vote for you. And the same thing happens in American politics all the time. If you've seen this happen in other cities besides New York, throw it in the comment section. I would love to see what you have noticed.